Emma, sitting beside him, watching him closely. Hey, how are you feeling today? Any better? Jack, eyes flickering open, confused. I I think so. Everything feels so blurry. It's like I'm waking up from a dream that I can't remember. Emma, a small, reassuring smile. That's normal. The doctors said it might take time. But you're okay, Jack. You're alive. That's what matters. Jack pauses, looking at her, something unfamiliar in his gaze. Alive? Yeah, I guess. But I don't really remember much about anything actually. But I can see your face. I think I should know you. Emma. Her smile fades slightly, heart racing. You do know me. You really do. You've been through a lot. The crash, it was bad, but you're strong. You'll get through this. Jack. His voice quiet, but growing more intense. The crash? That's what happened? But why can't I remember anything? I don't even know who I was before I woke up. Emma, eyes starting to tear up, but she forces a steady breath. You were everything to me, Jack. We've been together for 3 years. You're my world. You always have been. Jack, staring at her, frustration creeping in. 3 years? That doesn't make sense. I don't feel like I know you. I don't even know who I am anymore. You're telling me we've been together for 3 years, but I don't feel like I remember a single moment with you. Emma, tears starting to fall, her voice breaking. Jack, please. You have to trust me. I'm telling you the truth. We've shared so many moments. We laughed together, cried together, fought sometimes, but always made up. You love me. Jack, shaking his head, his eyes lost in thought. I wish I could believe you. I want to believe you. But all I feel is emptiness. I'm not sure if I even know how to love. Emma, looking at him, trying to steady her emotions. I can help you. I know it feels impossible right now, but I'll help you remember. Every piece of us. But, Jack, there's something I need to tell you. Something you might not be ready for. Jack, eyes narrowing slightly, sensing something deeper. What? What is it? Emma, voice shaking. You were never supposed to survive the crash. Jack, taken aback, staring at her in disbelief. What? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Emma, looking down at her hands, as if collecting the courage to say it. The crash was supposed to kill us both, Jack. It was no accident. The person who hit us, it was someone who wanted to make sure we were both gone. They knew exactly where we were going that night, and they stops herself, voice trembling. Jack leans forward, his eyes wide with shock and confusion. You're saying it wasn't just an accident? You're telling me it was planned? Emma nods slowly, her eyes meeting his with intensity. Yes. And that's why things might feel strange right now. Your memories, they've been tampered with. The doctors, they think it's just trauma, but it's more than that, Jack. The accident wasn't the only thing that's been erased from your mind. Jack, his voice low and shaking, he reaches for her hand. Who would do that? Why? Emma, gripping his hand tightly, as if anchoring herself in the storm of her own emotions. I don't know. But what I do know is that someone tried to take us both out, and they almost succeeded. But you survived, Jack. And I'm not going to let you forget who you are. Who we are. Jack, eyes wide, struggling to absorb the gravity of her words. You're telling me someone tried to kill us, and now I'm just supposed to remember everything? I don't even know who's on my side anymore, Emma. Emma, her voice urgent and full of emotion. I'm on your side. I'm always going to be on your side. And together, we'll figure out who did this, who's behind it. But first, I need you to trust me. You might not remember now, but you'll get back to us. We're going to take it one step at a time. And I'll be here, every step of the way. Jack, taking a deep breath, his face filled with confusion and fear, but a flicker of determination starting to grow in his eyes. All right, I'll trust you. But I need you to promise me something. Emma, leaning forward, desperate. Anything. Just ask. Jack pauses, staring at her for a long moment, then speaks softly. Don't let me forget again. Emma, her voice shaky but resolute, taking his hand tighter. I won't let you forget again, Jack. I promise. But we need to figure out who's behind this, who wanted us gone. I don't know who I can trust anymore, either. Jack, gazing deeply into her eyes, trying to hold onto the fragments of his memory. You keep saying it was planned. Someone wanted to kill us, but how do you know that? How do you know it wasn't just a random accident? Emma, swallowing hard, trying to steady her breathing. Because I remember something. Before the crash, there was a man. I don't know his name, but he was in the parking lot the night we were supposed to leave. I swear I saw him watching us, staring at our car. I didn't think much of it at the time, but now it feels like it was all connected. Jack, his brow furrows in concentration, trying to recall anything from the past few days before the accident. A man? Watching us? Pauses? I don't know, Emma. It sounds so strange, but now that you mention it, something in my head is starting to stir. A face, maybe? Emma, looking at him intensely, her voice almost desperate. If you remember anything, Jack, anything at all, I need you to tell me. It's the only way we'll get through this. Jack shakes his head, still not entirely sure of his own thoughts. I don't know if I can remember much more. It's like there's a wall inside my head. But something feels wrong, like there's more to this than just the crash. Emma nods, her voice lowering to a whisper. There is. I've been trying to track down the people who might know about what happened, but every time I dig, I hit a wall. And there's this one thing. I've been getting these anonymous texts. Jack, his eyes snap up to hers, the mention of the texts catching his attention. Texts? From who? Emma glances down at her phone, her fingers trembling slightly as she pulls it out. I don't know. They just show up, no name, no number. But the messages are disturbing. The last one said, he'll never remember the truth. Jack leans forward, his heart pounding in his chest. Emma, that's not just a random message. That's a warning. Someone's trying to keep you from finding out the truth about what happened to us. Emma, her voice trembling as she scrolls through the old messages. There's more. I've been too afraid to show you this, but look. She handed him her phone, revealing a picture attached to one of the texts. It's a photo of their car just before the crash. A shadowy figure stands near it in the background, just out of focus, watching. Jack, staring at the picture, his hand gripping the phone tighter. Who is that? It looks like they were waiting for us. Emma, looking down at the floor, feeling the weight of the situation. I don't know. But Jack, I've gone to the police with what I know. And they're not taking it seriously. They keep telling me it's just part of the trauma you're going through. But I know it's not just that. Jack, sitting back against the pillow, processing the information. You think the police are covering something up? Why? Emma, eyes darting nervously, the pieces falling into place in her mind. I don't know, but I've been getting closer to someone. Someone at the hospital. Dr. Sullivan, she's been acting strange, like she's hiding something. When I asked about your records, specifically about the crash, she got defensive. I think she knows more than she's letting on. Jack, his gaze sharpens as he processes the new information. So now we have to figure out if she's involved in this, somehow. What if she knows more than she should? What if she was the one who erased my memory? Emma, we can't let this go. Emma, determined, wiping away a tear. I won't let this go, Jack. Not without you. You may not remember everything yet, but I know we can uncover the truth. We have to. Jack stands up slowly, despite still being weak from the accident. We will. We'll get to the bottom of this. But we have to be careful. Whoever is doing this, they're not going to stop just because we want answers. They want us to stay in the dark. Emma, her face hardening with resolve. I know, but they don't know who they're dealing with. We'll stick together. No matter what happens, we won't let them take everything from us. Jack, finally showing a faint smile, a sense of recognition finally starting to return to his eyes. Emma, I'm not going to lose you again. Let's find out who did this, and make them pay. Emma, gripping Jack's hand as they walk out of the hospital, their footsteps echoing down the empty corridor. We can't waste any more time. I've been looking into Dr. Sullivan's records, and there's something off. It's not just the way she reacts when I ask questions, it's what she's hiding. Jack, his eyes intense, his voice quieter now. Do you really think she's involved in this? She could be in on it, or she could be scared, too. If someone has been tampering with my memories, there's no telling who else they've gotten to. Emma, nodding, voice filled with urgency. Exactly. And that's why we have to be careful. We don't know who we can trust. I think the only way to figure this out is to get into Dr. Sullivan's office, find out what she's hiding. I'm going to need your help. Jack pauses, his expression becoming more focused. You think we can just walk in there and start snooping around? What if she's expecting us? What if she's already onto you? Emma, eyes narrowing with determination. Then we have to be smarter. We don't go in guns blazing. We need information quietly. If she's involved, she's going to have to slip up at some point. And when she does, we'll be ready. Jack, gripping her hand tightly, a fire returning to his gaze. We'll get answers. I don't care what we have to do. Later that night, Emma, sitting in the car outside the hospital, watching the building through the rearview mirror, her fingers trembling on the steering wheel. Okay, it's now or never. You ready? Jack, his hand steady on the door handle, voice low. I'm ready. Let's do this. But remember, if something goes wrong, we bail. No heroics. Emma, glancing at him, then nodding, determined. We get in, get out. That's the plan. They step out of the car, moving quickly and quietly toward the back entrance of the hospital. Emma swipes a key card she'd borrowed from a security guard earlier, and they slip into the building undetected. Emma, whispering as they make their way down the hallway. We need to head to her office. It's on the second floor. Stick close. Jack, whispering back. If anyone sees us, we'll be in deep trouble. We have to move fast. They sneak through the halls, their footsteps echoing faintly in the silence. When they reach Dr. Sullivan's office, they find the door slightly ajar. Emma glances at Jack, her heart pounding. Emma, her voice barely a whisper. This is it. Let's see what secret she's hiding. They slip inside the office and immediately begin searching through the drawers and cabinets. Emma finds a folder marked Patient 14B, a reference to Jack. Her hands tremble as she pulls it open. Emma, muttering to herself as she scans the papers. There's something strange about this, a note written in red ink. It says, subject must remain unaware of prior interactions. Memory manipulation successful. Jack, his eyes widening, his voice growing urgent. Memory manipulation? Emma, this is huge. What's going on? Emma, frantic, flipping through more documents. There's more, something about experimental treatments and a special program for memory enhancement. It looks like they were conducting tests on patients. But this is not just about me, it's about you, Jack. They've been tampering with your mind on purpose. Jack, shocked, feeling a wave of realization hit him. So, this isn't just an accident. This was planned from the start. They've been controlling everything, my memories, my life, maybe even us. Suddenly, they hear footsteps approaching. Emma's heart races. She quickly grabs the folder and shoves it into her bag. Emma, whispering urgently, we have to go. Now. They make a hasty retreat, slipping into the shadows just as Dr. Sullivan rounds the corner, not noticing them. They duck into a nearby storage room and hold their breath, listening to her footsteps fade down the hall. Jack, his voice tense, eyes wide with shock. What does all of this mean, Emma? Why would they do this to me? Emma, eyes locked on the folder in her hands, her voice soft but filled with determination. I don't know yet, Jack. But we're going to find out. Whoever's behind this, they've been controlling your life for so long, but no more. We're going to take them down. Jack, nodding, his grip on her hand tightening. I don't care what it takes. I'm done being their puppet. We'll expose them, Emma. And no one's going to stop us. Emma, slipping out of the storage room, her breath quickening as they head for the exit. We need to leave.
Now.
We've got the evidence, but we can't stay here. Not for long. Jack, his voice low, urgent. What do we do with the folder? What's the next step? Emma, looking down at the folder, her mind racing. We get it to someone who can help. Someone outside this mess. But first, we need to disappear. If Dr. Sullivan or anyone else realizes we took it, we won't get out of here in one piece. Jack, his eyes darting around nervously. All right, but Emma, what if they're tracking us? What if they already know? Emma, a determined look crossing her face as she quickly checks over her shoulder. They probably are. And that's why we can't be seen together anymore. If we split up, it'll be harder for them to track us both. Jack pauses, looking at her with sudden intensity. Emma?
No.
I'm not leaving you. I don't care if it's dangerous. We've come this far. We stick together. Always. Emma hesitates for a moment, seeing the strength in his eyes. She knows he's right, but the danger is mounting by the second. Still, the bond between them is undeniable. Emma, taking a deep breath, her voice firm but filled with love. Okay, we'll stick together. But we need a plan, Jack. We can't just run around blindly. They step out into the dark parking lot, the night air cool against their skin. The only sound is the distant hum of traffic. Emma's mind races, trying to come up with a strategy. Emma, whispering, her eyes scanning the surroundings. We go to the place I've been renting out. It's secluded. No one will find us there. We'll lay low until we can figure out what to do with this. Holds up the folder, but we have to be careful. We'll have to erase everything that ties us to the hospital. Phones, credit cards, anything that can be tracked. Jack, nodding, his voice resolute. I don't care what it takes. We'll do it. But we have to make sure we have all the pieces. We can't leave any stone unturned. Suddenly, Emma's phone buzzes in her pocket. She freezes. It's another anonymous message. Emma, reading aloud, her voice tense. You're getting too close, Emma. Stop now, or you'll both pay the price. Jack, eyes narrowing, the weight of the threat sinking in. They're watching us. We need to be more careful than ever. Emma, clenching her jaw, her hand tightening around the phone. They won't scare me. We're not stopping.
Not now.
Not after everything we've uncovered. They quickly make their way to Emma's car, hearts racing with every step. As they drive off into the night, the shadow of danger hangs over them. The next morning, Emma and Jack sit in a small, secluded cabin on the outskirts of town. It's quiet here, a stark contrast to the chaos they've just escaped. But they know it's only temporary. The storm is still coming. Emma, pacing the small room, still processing everything they learned. This is bigger than I thought. Someone has been pulling strings behind the scenes, controlling everything. Your memories, the crash, they've been manipulating us for so long. Jack, sitting at the table, his eyes distant as he tries to piece everything together. If they've been controlling my memories, it means they've been controlling my life, my choices. What if they've been using me as part of some experiment or project? That would explain why they wanted me out of the picture. Emma, stopping in her tracks, her voice sharp with realization. You think the crash wasn't just to kill us? You think they wanted to erase everything? Keep us from remembering the truth about whatever they've done to you? Jack, leaning forward, his voice quiet but full of intensity. I think they've been erasing my memories because I was getting too close to finding out the truth. And that means, whoever's behind this, they're not going to stop until they bury everything. Emma, turning to him, her voice trembling with a mixture of anger and fear. We won't let them. We've come too far to turn back. But Jack, we need to make a move. We can't keep hiding forever. Jack, his face hardens, a newfound resolve settling in. Then we take the fight to them. We go after the people behind this. We find out who's been pulling the strings. But we do it smart. No more mistakes. As they prepare to take the next step, Emma and Jack realize that the conspiracy goes far beyond just Dr. Sullivan. It's a network of powerful people who have been manipulating their lives for reasons they still don't fully understand. And now, with everything on the line, they're ready to face the danger head-on. Emma, her eyes steely with determination as she looks at Jack. We've got one shot at this, Jack. If we're going to expose them, we need to gather everything. Every last piece of the puzzle. Jack, nodding, standing tall, his face resolute. Let's make sure they can't get away with this. For us. And for everyone else they've done this to. They exchange a final glance, knowing that they're about to walk into the heart of the storm. But for the first time since the accident, Jack feels something powerful stirring inside him. His memories may have been stolen, but he's ready to take back control. Emma, holding the folder tightly in her hands, her eyes filled with a mix of anger and resolve. We can't keep running. It's time to bring this to light, Jack. Time to show the world what they've been doing to us. Jack, nodding firmly, his gaze intense. Agreed. No more hiding. We take them down, together. After a week of careful planning and gathering evidence, Emma and Jack have pieced together a clear picture of the conspiracy. They now know who's behind everything, a powerful corporation that's been conducting illegal memory manipulation experiments on unsuspecting people, using them for unknown purposes. The files Emma had found led them to a key person within the company. Dr. Sullivan was just a small part of a much larger machine. Emma, sitting at a small cafe, her fingers tapping nervously on the table, staring at a stack of documents. I've contacted someone who can help us, Jack. A journalist named Leah Bennett. She's been investigating this kind of thing for years. If we give her everything we've got, she'll make sure this doesn't stay hidden. Jack, glancing around, staying alert. We can't be too careful. If they catch wind of us talking to her, it's game over. Are you sure we can trust her? Emma, looking up at him with unwavering certainty. She's already done stories on illegal human experimentation, and her reputation is on the line with this one. We give her the truth, she'll take it public. They won't be able to sweep it under the rug. As Emma and Jack prepare to meet with Leah, they're suddenly interrupted by the sound of footsteps approaching. Emma freezes. Dr. Sullivan steps into the cafe, looking as composed as ever. Her eyes immediately land on them. Dr. Sullivan, a cold smile crossing her face, as if she's been expecting this moment. Did you think you could just walk away from this, Emma? From everything you've uncovered? You're playing a dangerous game. Emma, standing up, trying to mask the panic rising in her chest. We're not afraid of you anymore, Dr. Sullivan. We've already made contact with the people who will expose what you've been doing. Dr. Sullivan, her smile falters, but she quickly recovers, her voice low and threatening. You have no idea what you're getting into. If you think you can just walk away with the truth, you're wrong. There are things you don't understand, things you can't understand. You'll regret this. Jack, his jaw clenched, stepping forward. Maybe you'll regret underestimating us, Dr. Sullivan. We're not going to let you get away with it. She glares at them one last time, then, with a quick glance toward a figure standing by the door, turns and walks out. Emma and Jack exchange a brief look of concern. Things are escalating faster than they thought. Later that evening, with Leah Bennett by their side, they hold a press conference in a secure location, ready to unveil the truth. The journalist's camera is set up, lights flashing, and the weight of the moment hangs in the air. Leah, looking into the camera, speaking directly to the world. Tonight, we are exposing a conspiracy that has been hidden for years, one that has affected countless lives, including those of Emma Carter and Jack Foster. What you are about to hear will shock you. It's time to show the truth behind illegal memory manipulation experiments being conducted by one of the largest corporations in the country. We have the evidence, and they can no longer hide. The following weeks are a whirlwind. The press coverage is overwhelming, and the public outrage grows as the full scope of the conspiracy is revealed. Emma and Jack are thrust into the spotlight, not just as victims, but as heroes who fought for the truth. Dr. Sullivan and her superiors are arrested, and the company is exposed for their heinous crimes. Legal battles ensue, and many of the people involved in the experiments come forward, telling their stories. Justice begins to take shape. Jack, sitting on the couch with Emma, watching the news, a sense of peace finally settling over them. We did it, Emma. We actually did it.
The truth is out there.
And they can't take it back. Emma, leaning her head on his shoulder, her voice soft with relief. We fought for this, Jack. For our lives, for everyone else they hurt. I never thought it would end like this. But I'm glad we didn't stop. We got our lives back. Jack, smiling, the weight of the past few months lifting from his shoulders. We didn't just get our lives back. We chose our future. Together. Emma, looking up at him, her heart swelling with love and relief. We're free, Jack. And we have each other. That's all that matters. The sun sets outside, casting a warm glow over the room. Emma and Jack sit together in peace, knowing that while the road to get here was filled with danger, loss, and betrayal, they made it through. They're no longer victims of the past, but warriors of their own destiny. They smile at each other, ready to step forward into a new chapter, one where they're finally in control of their own lives, and no one will ever take that away from them again.
The end.
Thanks for watching. For more stories, please subscribe Eververse Novel.